Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Cornerstone, your weekly look at everything going on here at Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church in Alexander City, Alabama. Brett Pritchard and Billy Coleman here with you for this hour during your day, and we appreciate all of you that join us out there. We want to thank our sponsors of our program that allow us to bring you this each and every week, and couldn't do it without them, Coach. It's
I
hot
tell you,
outside.
we got a lot to be thankful for. Have you been
Hot
sweating
outside.
any?
It's hot. I need to. I need to sweat a lot.
Seems like but we got a big rain. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Right.
So yesterday morning, Monday morning, we got a huge rain in our farm. I thought the garden was fixing to just burn up, but no, there's life yet.
It's gonna need a lot more of that.
I'm afraid you're right.
We're in I think we're approaching drought.
It is summer.
Drought category now, but
yeah.
Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here. You can always keep up with us at cornerstone-fgmc.org. That is the place to go and see the latest updates. Or you can like us on Facebook, our Facebook page out there, Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church in Alexander City. And you can see everything that's going on in our church as I scroll here on my phone. It's very easy to see all the things that our kids ministries are doing, our youth are doing, older adult classes are doing. We have our services each and every week that are archived right there. I'm looking at the Green Street service right now as I scroll, and then I scroll on down a little bit further, and there's the Arbor service. It's right there at your fingertips. So I know a lot of times technology gets a bad rap, but there's some good things about technology.
Brett, I'd like to impress you just for a second.
I'm ready to be impressed.
All right. Well, of course, we missed you Sunday. I know you were on a nice trip and everything, and that's wonderful. But for the first time, I think, since I've stood up in front of the good people at Cornerstone, I actually thanked the people watching online.
You know what?
I looked at the camera, and I said, we appreciate you looking. I don't think I've ever seen.
Steal your thunder, but you were talking to me because we were watching from the balcony. So we were watching from the balcony of the condo, and you did. I mean,
I actually acknowledged.
So like you were talking directly to me.
Really?
I mean,
was it that kind of?
It was that spot on.
Wow.
So it felt good. Felt good. But no.
It felt pretty good.
I'm telling you, again, just because, and I think this is a good. While we're here, we had a family vacation this past week. So on that Sunday morning, we're out on the patio out there overlooking the Gulf, and we have our phone up and we're watching the service, the Arbor service as it comes on,
and that's amazing.
Just because you're away from your home doesn't mean. Again, technology gets a bad rap, but there's a lot of good things that it provides to you, opportunities. And technology gets blamed for a lot, but you know what?
You're right.
Technology's not the blame of
it's
anything.
Man. That's
it's
right.
the person operating the device that chooses what they want to do with it.
That's right.
Just like anything in this life that we do. I mean,
I hate to say it, but you're right, Brett.
Look, and I may ruffle some feathers here. I mean, and you hear this all the time, and you're supposed to be in church on Sundays, and that's what you do as a Christian, and you should want to be in church. But just because you go to church and you sit in church doesn't mean that you're getting the message and the word any better than maybe somebody that's remote watching it on their device.
I can't argue with that.
So there's opportunities out there. Just because you walk into a church facility doesn't automatically make you a Christian. It doesn't.
No.
You say this all the time about baptism. If you don't feel it here, then all you're doing is taking part of a ritual. It's an empty ritual that has no meaning behind it if there's nothing in your heart.
Sure.
So the same with technology. I think that the person could be sitting there more engaged, more active, maybe closer to God in their relationship than the person that's actually sitting in the church building.
Well, I guess the reason I said that, and it's about time I did, but I'm just amazed. I mean, we talk about that every Tuesday at our staff meeting. 400, 500, 600, 700 people are watching. I'll be out somewhere in another part of the state, and some person that I've known in the past said, "Man, I love y'all's service. I've been watching." I said, "Really? You've been watching?" He said, "Yeah." And it is amazing, and you're exactly right. There's a lot of good here. It can be used like anything else for the wrong reasons, but that's a great reason.
You know what's so great about having your church services live on social media or on your website is that you're doing what God and Jesus asked you to do,
You're
is to
honoring the
minister.
Sabbath.
You're ministering,
Right.
but you're ministering to those. You're going outside the walls of the church to make disciples.
Yeah.
You're sending your sermon and your message to people that otherwise may not be able to come physically to the service.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas back in the day, if you missed Sunday, you just missed it. You missed the message. I can go back if I didn't see it live. I can watch the entire service right here, right now, today on a Tuesday.
That is amazing.
And be like I was there in person. So there's a lot of great things that you can utilize. And I encourage people, don't run from things, engage in them. We all have the free will to make decisions, whether things are right or wrong,
Right.
what we choose to look at, what we choose to engage in on social media. And we can choose the right things or we can choose the wrong things.
Just like anything else.
Just like out here walking around in the real world, I remember growing up, your mom and daddy, if you kind of hesitated and you were off with your friends and it didn't feel right, it probably wasn't right.
Probably not.
You probably weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing. There was a reason you had that feeling. It's called your conscience. And probably God knocking on your head a little
uses
bit.
it too.
Hey, buddy, you
Right.
keep doing this, bad things are going to happen. But, they send you off, and it's up to you to make the right decisions.
Sure.
And we all were kids, and as adults, we still make mistakes. We still make bad decisions sometimes. But I wanted to say that I didn't intend to go down this rabbit hole in the first segment, but we tend to blame the device for the problem. And we tend to go, man, that social media stuff, that's just junk. Well, a lot of it can be.
Sure.
But a lot of it can be really good.
That's
and a lot of it can be a vehicle to bring people to God. Just like our Facebook page right here. When you scroll down through here and you see Cornerstone Kids and you see what's going on right now this week with the little masterpiece art camp going on, and how many kids are actually at the camp, and how many of our youth are there helping with the camp. And to me, I would classify that as something really positive.
Of course.
To see on social
Right.
media. Now you can scroll on down on your Facebook profile and you can see bad stuff. You can probably see stuff that we wouldn't read on here on this show and we wouldn't talk about. And you can choose to be part of those things, or you can choose to be part of these kind of things.
Right.
I
I can't argue that.
So-
You got a great point.
think, and look, there's a lot of great pages that you can follow out there, uplifting pages that I get a daily Bible verse every morning on my phone. I'm part of an app that sends a daily prayer out and a Bible verse to go with that prayer. I'm also part of a prayer chain of Rick Cleveland. I don't know if you're in that group or not, Coach.
I do. I get all of that.
There's so many people in that text thread. I don't know who all's in there.
That's right.
But there's probably 250 coaches, just acquaintances, friends of Rick's that he built. And every single morning, like clockwork, at 6 o'clock, you're going to get a personal message and a Bible verse.
Scripture, yeah.
And look, you know what? That's great. What a great way to start your morning. I get a double dose every morning.
I agree. It's awesome. It really is. And Rick and I go way back. I remember when he accepted Christ into his life, and to see him instigate something like that is a real blessing for me, for sure.
Just tells you that, people can grow. It doesn't matter what your age. There is no age stipulation on when you should be baptized or when you can have a relationship with Christ or whatever. It just shows you that when the timing's right, it's right.
That's right.
And when you feel that call from God, that call. So, well, that's a good way to get our show kicked off right here today. And again, hopefully you're out there on social media following us. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of this stuff we've got going on at our church right now, because there's a bunch of it.
A lot of
stuff.
That's going to be
on.
fun, though.
It is. It is. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy?
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on at our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone here. Kind of piggybacking and closing out on what we talked about in the first segment, Coach. I was kind of kidding. Me and you were just kind of talking off the air, how people, and I know you've heard it, people go, at Instagram, at Facebook, that's the devil. I ain't looking. It's not the devil. The people that participate in putting things in Facebook's just a platform.
That's true.
And the people that join the platform determine what you see and what you don't, and then what you like and who you befriend determines what you see and what you don't see. But I do agree with the point that you just brought up, the accessibility, and we had this conversation not too long ago in our Sunday school class. What kids have accessibility to today versus what we had accessibility to, man, it's so scary. It's so concerning.
Even on our cable channels.
Oh man,
it's not just the computer.
Well, no, TV has changed
Yeah.
completely.
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
I think
The language
and
scenes
just anything that you would have thought 15, 20 years ago would have never been allowed
Right.
is the norm now.
Right.
And so I think what we've got in our society now is desensitization. I think we have a lot of people that have been exposed to so much stuff, and I'll leave it as a broad term like that, that it doesn't shock people anymore. It doesn't catch them by surprise. It doesn't because there's a lot of things that you can see and hear, but when it's like anything else, Coach, if you see it and hear it over and over and over and over, you become numb to it. It just becomes part of everyday life, and that's the scary part to me.
You know, Brett, when I was 14 years old, I attended a movie. It was horrible. It was called Conqueror Worm. It's about like you would think.
It sounds terrible.
It started Vincent Price. It starred him. And I sat there and I listened, and for the first time in my life at a movie, I heard the D word. I'd never heard it at a movie before. I got up. I didn't watch the rest of the movie. Of course, it wasn't any good anyway. I got up. I went outside. I walked up. I walked from my house to the movie theater, walked up to my parents, and I told them that I just heard the D word. And I mean, I was just almost shaking. Now, is there a show on TV now that doesn't say that, other than maybe Andy Griffin?
Yeah,
the ones that were made back in those days didn't.
I mean,
But,
not to diminish that word, but that's almost comical, man. Yeah. I mean, seriously, that word would. I mean, for anybody to be offended by that word comparable to some of the other stuff, it's
and that's what you were talking about.
That's exactly what I really think we're desensitized to. A lot of stuff, and I'll leave it kind of open category like that, whether it's cursing or, sexuality stuff or whatever it is that you're throwing out there that, every day in the middle of the day TV or accessibility to devices for kids to scroll around, they see and hear things that, man, you would not have ever dreamed about a kid hearing back 20 years ago.
And I might add to that, and I agree with everything you said, and I do, but our children need to learn how to carry on a conversation with people.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it looks like the whole world is so engaged in the technology, their phone and stuff like that, that they can't look people in the eye and carry on a conversation with people they love.
Right.
I mean, it happens at Christmas.
Exactly.
When their family's all there. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but there again, we're in charge of that.
No doubt.
And we can
the adults
control that
control
if we
that.
want to.
Right. The
So
adults
I agree
control
with
that.
you on that for sure. Yeah.
But again, and I had somebody tell me the other day, about a certain platform on social media. I won't name which one it is, but I heard a kid tell another kid, said, well, my parents don't let me look at that at home, or don't let me have a particular whatever that was. Again, I won't name the social media platform. And they said, well, you'll just see it at school. You'll just see it at your friend's house. You'll see it if
you want to see it.
If you want to see it, it's out there. And again, that's a little disturbing too.
That's scary. Yes.
Well, because, I'll say this, and again, going back to what I said in the first segment about having your parents' voice in the back of your head when you were doing something as a child, and you may be going somewhere. I'll use something very, very innocent as going off in the woods too far, and saying, hey, now, we told you not to go past so-and-so, and then when you get to that line and you decide to keep going, going past that line, you're doing something wrong. But you know what's right and wrong.
Right.
But you, at that point, have an opportunity to make a choice. Do you want to keep doing it? You want to keep going? Or do you hear your mom and dad, or you hear God in the back of your head saying, all right, now you don't need to be doing that.
And we need to play some consequences when that happens.
That's exactly right.
To keep it from happening the next time.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that kind of leads down another rabbit hole. I think the
Okay.
consequences in this world now, Coach,
I'm gone.
we don't have any.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and I'm not speaking for everybody.
Of course not.
I'm just saying that
I know that.
in general, there aren't as harsh of consequences to things as they were when all of us were growing up.
Absolutely. I agree.
I mean, there were reasons why that voice in the back of your head kept saying, "Hey, do you really want to chance this? Do you really want to try this?" Because if you get caught doing that, you know what you're going to have to deal with. And then that was the fear. But now kids don't have anything to fear a lot of times. They go, I'm just going to do it and I'll get away with it. And they'll yell at me a little bit, but then it'll all be over and we'll be on back to normal. So.
And I think, we're having a really great conversation here. I hope everybody doesn't mind. We're just kind of talking with each other, and I thank you for listening. But, we are a show that represents a church. I mean, this is Inside Cornerstone. We love our church.
Right.
And I think on this subject and other subjects like it, when people come to their church, they need to know that morals are not going to be compromised. And the same things that are happening in the world are not going to happen necessarily in the church without proper supervision
Right.
to make sure parents know that when that kid comes to Cornerstone or any other church in this town, there are going to be some standards that are biblical that God is, and they don't change. Everything else changes. And Lord have mercy, is different. When I was 14 years old and now it's a different world. But the gospel
Right.
and the church is the same.
Well,
how does that work?
Well, here's what, and I think this is a great conversation we're having. I think a lot of people probably appreciate what we're talking
Probably need
about.
to do more of it.
But, well, it does. I mean, that's what this show's for.
Yeah.
We don't have a set script we follow on this show. We want to cover
Right.
things that are going on in our church, but I think this relates to everybody that may be tuning in and watching. Going back to the consequences, Coach, of consequences to your actions and things like that. The leniency in getting away from that has allowed people to put their own spin on the Bible, have allowed people to rewrite the Bible, have allowed people to
Change it.
to create doubt in other people's mind and get away from the scripture that was written for and by God. And it brings up one of the points that I saw. Again, you want to see something that's bad on social media. I was scrolling where somebody made a post about God being non-binary, and I'm thinking, that's the kind of stuff that, and then people pile on and go, God's not male or female when Jesus clearly said Father and referred to God as Father, and I don't
189
understand.
times.
I don't understand why that becomes an issue and becomes such a sticky wicket for people.
Yeah.
That we make that it's not up for debate. And people, and then you have people that say they're Christians that are commenting on the post that say, hey, if Christians are to love everybody and include and go through all this, all these lists of things and reasonings why. And I'm like, well, where are you coming up with the rationale behind your? Well, it's just what I came up with. It's just because that's the way it is. Well, tell me where it is. Tell me where you're coming up with the rationale to combat what the Bible says about that subject.
And if you read and believe in the Bible, and we do, there are consequences. There
Absolutely.
are consequences to sin. It separates us from God. There's tons of consequences. And we live in a world that we are free to make decisions. But when we do, we have to accept what comes with those decisions. And without that, my dad was a disciplinarian. I'm going to tell you something. If I messed up,
Right.
there were going to be some consequences. But you know why he did that? Because he loved me. It's
course.
because of love that the consequences came.
How many coaches have you ever had come up to you or anybody you looked up to that said, if I'm jumping down your throat, or if I'm getting on to you, or if I'm really getting on top of you about a mistake or whatever, means I really care about you. I care about the consequences. I care about you becoming better at that position or whatever. I've had coaches tell me when I don't say anything to you is when you should be concerned.
You're describing my first meeting with every team I've ever coached. I get everybody around. I say, now let me just tell you something. I love you. I care about you. And when you mess up, I'm going to be right there in your face, getting on you, pushing you to be the best that you can be. And I ask them, I say, Brett, if anybody around here got a problem with that, let me know right now. Is that going to offend you if I do that? Because I want you to know I'm doing it because I care about you.
Right.
And we have that understanding. I mean, it doesn't always work just like you want it to. But most of the time, the guys pretty much say, Coach, if I need it, get on me. And I do because I care about it.
Well, it is in any situation, deep down, nobody likes to be yelled at or told they've done something wrong, but in the back of your mind, you think about they only are saying that because they want you to get better. They care about you.
Yes.
The reason they say that to you and the reason they do the things that they do, it's the silence is when you should be concerned.
Yeah.
That's when people have moved on. They've decided, hey, look.
They give up.
They give up. So
Right.
no doubt. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. We'll have a
Are we
clip.
halfway through?
Yeah, we got a clip from our
What?
service coming up in the next segment. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
This is a story about a father. It's not necessarily a story about two sons. It's about the unconditional love of God for us and what that means to us in our life. We talked about how the Bible is packed full of references to fathers and their influence that they have for the kingdom of God. We also talked about how Jesus referred to God, the God of this universe who created everything, as a father. And when you pray, say, Our Father. Today I want us to take just a moment before we get going and talk about the context in which this story was told. For one thing, there were two groups of people that it's addressing. One is addressing people that are lost. And the 15th chapter of Luke is called the lost chapter. It talks about a lost sheep, that a shepherd had 100 sheep and lost one, and he left the 99 to go look for the one. It talks about a lost coin, that a lady had 10 and lost one, searched the whole house until she finally found it, and it tells about a lost son. There were many people in this time that were lost, that had not had the opportunity to experience God in their life. Some of it was their own fault through their sins. Some of it was through a group of people called the religious leaders, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, who didn't even believe in the resurrection. And this story is also about them. It's got both of those elements in it. And to get a real context for it, let's talk about the first few verses in the 15th chapter of Luke. And it says, Now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathered around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law muttered, This man welcomes sinners and eats with them. So that element was there. So Jesus told story about winning the lost over and talking about why he was meeting with sinners and tax collectors. Now, to really understand the Jewish side of this, if you don't mind, I'd like to go to another scripture, and that would be Deuteronomy 21:18. And after I read this, I think it'll be pretty clear about why the Pharisees felt that way. Deuteronomy 21:18. If someone has a stubborn and rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother and will not listen to them when they discipline him, his father and mother shall take hold of him, bring him to the elders at the gate of this town. By the way, this story was told at the gate of the town. That's not an accident. They shall say to the elders, This son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He's a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of the town are to stone him to death. You must purge the evil from among you. All Israel hear of it and be afraid. So a new style of discipline for young people, right? I mean, that was the law of Deuteronomy that applied to the people who were standing around Jesus saying, This man associates with tax collectors and sinners. The law says you destroy the prodigal. That's where they were coming from. And so Jesus told the story that had them in it. Now, I constantly refer to some of these movies of the past that I love about the story of Jesus' life. And one of those is Jesus of Nazareth. I love that one. That's probably my favorite. There is a story that I've probably told in another sermon, but there's a story in Jesus of Nazareth that I can't watch without bringing tears to my eyes. And it's the story of Peter and Matthew. Now, Matthew, of course, was a tax collector. He was one of the ones that the Pharisees were talking about. Not only did he associate them, he had one for his disciple. And Peter was outraged of that. He couldn't stand Matthew and wondered over and over again, why in the world did Jesus ask a tax collector to come and be one of our guys? Well, word got out that Jesus was going to Matthew's house in Jesus of Nazareth, and he was going to go to a little get-together there. And Peter is down on the beach, which is only a couple hundred yards from Matthew's house, pouting, ranting and raving and telling the rest of the disciples, no, I'm not going up there. If you expect me to go up there to a tax collector's house, I'm not going. So he's pouting and stomping around down there, and the rest of the disciples go on up. And Peter, being Peter, decides that he'll just wander up to the outside of the house and find out what kind of shenanigans are going on up there. So he wanders up to the edge. And when he gets about 15 yards from the area where all the people are, he stops. And Jesus, being Jesus, says in that movie, a certain man had 2 sons. And he begins to talk about the prodigal son. And in doing so, tells this beautiful story. And all the time that he does it, Matthew is listening, saying, oh, he's talking about me, talking about the sins he committed and all that sort of thing. And Matthew's kind of got his head down, and Peter's over there nodding his head. He would have said amen to that message, probably given the opportunity. And then Jesus begins to talk about a second son who was out in the field working. And he tells the story that we're going to be talking about today, the guy that stayed at home, and how the father goes out and talks to this elder son about his brother coming back, and tells the scripture that I just said. Oh, this is hard to tell. When he does, and he ends by saying, this was your brother. He was lost, and now he's found. He was dead, and now he's alive. He walks towards Peter and said, this your brother was lying. And now Peter's head is down. Peter looks over at Matthew, walks into the house, and embraces Matthew in front of everybody. I don't know if it was told like that, but it should have been. What a great, great illustration of what we're talking about today. There are 2 sons, and let's talk for a minute about that second one. We know that the younger one asked for his third. Well, the older one was going to get 2/3 of that. That's what the Jewish law said. But the first thing we find out when the father comes back with the prodigal and everything seems to be going good, we find that he is working in the field. That's what he did, and that's a reason for that. That was him. He worked. Good works. He did stuff for his father, and he did it every day. He did it religiously. He went out and he worked for his father. He was a good guy who did a lot of good stuff. Probably never got in trouble, not like his idiot younger brother. So he's out in the field working, and all of a sudden he hears a party going on down towards the house. Now I'm going to say that it was 97 degrees out there. It was humid. He was sweating all over. He was dirty. And he walks up and he talks to the people there about what's going on, what's happening. And amidst all his work and all his commitment to his father to go out and do the stuff out in the field, they say, you haven't heard? Your brother's come home. And they're having a celebration for him in here. They've even killed the fatted calf so he could be here. And this older brother is resentful. He's jealous. He doesn't like this at all. You can liken it to the story about the man that went out and found the workers for the vineyard, and he hired some of them at 7 a.m. and promised them he'd pay them that much. Then he hired some at 12, and then he hired some 1 hour before the end of the workday. And when it came time to pay them all, the owner of the vineyard paid them all the same. Now that's when you get your lawyer and you start talking about a lawsuit. That's not fair. There's nothing right about that. I came in here, I started at 7 in the morning, and I'm going to get paid the same as the one that worked here for an hour. That was an illustration of the resentment that the Jewish people had for the sinners and tax collectors that Jesus was reaching out to, who told the thief on the cross that he would be with him that day in paradise. Because that's not right. That's not fair. And that's what had happened to the elder son.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. I'm kind of glad we don't show some of the stuff between
You
you
Louie.
and now we talk about Donald Duck. So anyway, it could be worse. Could be worse.
A little, maybe.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Hey, we're here in our last segment of the program. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. And, again, great stuff on the show today. Kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole talking about technology and how you can access all of the things going on in our church. And then we started talking about you know, what technology can do for you, the good and the bad and the ugly and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought it was a great conversation.
And
I
drifted
enjoyed
a
it.
little bit over to Donald Duck.
We got into Donald Duck somehow.
Yeah.
So,
But that's when we were off the air.
that's right. That's right.
There's another program that goes on when we're off the air.
an entirely different one. Thank goodness the cameras aren't rolling. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
we've got, to close out right here, we say this every week. We have a very active schedule at our church going on right now. We just saw a little bit. We'll start first though with your message at the Arbor. We just saw a clip of that. You know, the second half of the prodigal son message. If you want to just kind of wrap that up for everybody.
Well, there were two prodigal sons. It's not just the one that went off into what we call the far land, but there's the one that was working in the field. Those sons represented segments of the society.
They did.
The prodigal son, those who had not been saved, the Gentiles who had not followed the law. And then you got the elder son in the field that was working, and he earned his father's approval through work. And, of course, we saw he's very resentful that the father accepts the young one back. So we try to take both of those and see how their choices applies to our life. And we find ourselves in both of them. But at the end of the day, Brett, the greatest story ever told, the prodigal son, is about a father that unconditionally loves both his sons, goes and meets both his sons in different settings. And so for that, I love preaching on it. I got about 50 other sermons on it.
That's right. And you're getting a phone call. In the
I
middle of the
know.
show.
I think it's from the elder son. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah.
Is it from that? How ironic that would be.
It's from an Auburn baseball coach.
Okay, how about that? Okay, but I thought again, the story tends to focus on the one that leaves and comes back, and I think the one about the other son, the one in the field. I mean, that's just as important.
You know, we kind of ended both of them kind of like this. The elder son looks at the father and says, "This your son comes back." And the father says, "It's right that we should celebrate this." And he says, "This your brother." So the brother's saying to the father, "Your son," and the father's saying to the elder brother, "He's your brother." And kind of reflects on how we're supposed to treat each other. We're all family in this. And, you know, resentment and jealousy is not just part of that story. It's part of our lives.
No doubt.
And it happens sometimes within the walls of the church.
Very, very well said, no doubt. Well, Coach, you know, moving on from that, again, if you can't join us on Sunday, we show a clip, as you just saw in the previous segment, from one of our two services, either the Green Street or the Arbor service. Try to alternate those out. And then you have the freedom to watch our services there on Facebook or on our website. They're all archived there if you miss them. And if you're away from church on Sunday, I know a lot of our members know how to tune us in. Like you said, we have upwards of 500 to 700 weekly that view our services, which is.
We'd even sell you a Boston butt if you wanted to.
That's where we're going next. We're going to go into current events and things that are going on with our church. Still have time to buy one of the Boston butts to help with the youth trip that's coming up very soon, and using the proceeds from the sale to purchase the transportation to get the kids where they're going, and just kind of talk about that, and then they'll be available to be picked up right there before 4th of July.
July 2nd. It really does my heart good to see our young people involved in helping to raise the money for their trip. It's going to be a great retreat. I get to speak to them on that Friday night. It's in August. And they're going to come close to raising enough to take a chartered bus down there. It's safer for them. And I think they get more out of it when they get out and invest in it by making it. I think we sold close to 200.
That's awesome.
And that is really good. And Big Mike's going to be making them, so you know that they're going to taste
outstanding.
good. And speaking of the youth, we've been having an event at church where the children are coming together and they're making things for mission projects later on. For example, there's a huge table that's got little containers of these colorful flowers, and they're going
Right.
to take them and give them to shut-ins in the fall of the
awesome.
year. And here our teenagers are leading the way,
That's
our
awesome.
youth, to help these children make things that they can use for mission projects later on.
Very
Yeah, that's
rewarding.
super.
It's rewarding and,
Man.
and encouraging, all in the same
Yeah.
tone.
Yeah.
Lots going on. I mean, they take trips every week, and I mean,
gosh.
they went to an animal farm last week.
Yeah.
and, just great to see the life of everything that's going on, Coach, with our church.
And then to be willing to go out and help. You know, that our youth programs require financial support. Look
no
at all
doubt.
the stuff that they do. But then when they're
doubt.
willing to go out and help be a part of the answer,
awesome.
the adults, they jump in with them and they say, we want to support that kind of attitude.
Right. Well, again, kudos to all our leaders in the church that allow our kids to have the opportunity to do the things that they do and to participate in. I want to you got another part?
We had our first college small group meet Sunday.
I know there was like 10.
There
of them.
was 8 to 10, and a lot of them weren't there. That's a whole segment. I mean, I can't tell you how exciting that is, because we've talked a lot about college
Right.
kids, and now we have a class started. We have a group of girls that meet at the big house on Mondays. We had 24 on Monday now, not Sunday or Wednesday. Monday, 24 girls came, and they had an hour and a half Bible study.
Love it.
And just things like that just
You know,
inspire
and
you.
I'm happy to say that my son's home for the summer. He's in the college class. He was there.
How did he like it?
He was. It was wonderful. I'll tell you this. This was his off weekend to work, so he was at home by himself. We were gone on a trip. He got up and came to church.
Good for him.
And so
Awesome.
he was at he didn't want to miss it. And my daughter doesn't miss a Monday. She doesn't miss a Monday of that Bible study.
Right.
So
How does that make you feel
makes
as a
me
parent?
feel outstanding, and makes me feel just great. I mean, I don't know really other way to spin it.
Priorities are being set in their life.
Well, and again, kids are not perfect. Kids are going to make mistakes.
Kinda like
They're going to
adults.
make bad decisions. I will say this, very rewarding to be away and knowing that he could have slept in and nobody was home, and knowing that he has to work every other weekend and has to get up at 5:30 on Sunday morning to go into a job that can be really hot. And he got up and made it a priority to be at that class on Sunday morning. So
action speaks louder
it
than
does.
words.
You know, it does. Actions do speak a lot louder than words. Before we go, got a couple other things that we want to get to. I know that this coming Sunday is the Sunday before the 4th of July. Coach, I don't know if there's a bigger holiday outside of Christmas and Easter than the 4th of July in the United States. And some would argue it's one of the biggest holidays of all. And celebrate the independence of our country. The foundations of our country were founded in Christianity. I think last year we talked about that a little bit. Love this time of year, especially in this
Sure.
area of Lake Martin.
Sure.
And the celebration, we want to encourage everybody to stay safe and all out there. But 4th of July has a deep meaning, and you can route it back to the founding fathers of our country and their foundations in Christianity and Jesus Christ, which have founded this country.
Exactly. And, you know, we get a little despondent on this subject sometimes during the year, and I'm one of them. But on the 4th of July, you look around and patriotism still lives
Oh, it's
in
alive.
this country.
It's
There's
alive.
still a large segment of people that love this country and want to thank men and women who died so that we could have the privileges we have. The United States of America is the greatest country in the history of the world. And we need to take a stand on that and support our nation and the leaders of our nation, that they would take us to a place where our forefathers meant us to be when they
Right.
founded this nation in the beginning.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we appreciate everybody that joins us every week.
We do.
We thank our sponsors for allowing us to have the show every week. And hey, look, we'd love to have you in church on Sundays with us at 9 or 10 o'clock or 9 or 11 o'clock. We have a 10 o'clock Sunday school hour for small groups. So come join us on a Sunday. If you're looking for a church home, we'd love to have you here in Alexander City, Alabama. But Coach,
Check us out online.
that's it, right there at the bottom. Cornerstone-fgmc.org. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Inside Cornerstone. We'll be back with you next week for another edition. Hope everybody has a wonderful week.
God bless America.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.